Hey class. All right, this is the sample argument paper, and I'm going to do it in a narration format and see if that clears some matters up for you. I'm going to, just bear with me, I'm going to scroll down to the last page. That's where the color coding is, and it explains all of this color coding, which will not be required for your paper. You do not have to color code your paper. I'm simply doing it to point out specific points in the paper, such as the thesis, where it belongs, and the main points, your topic, your claim. Uh, it's going to be in red, and it's going to be in the last sentence or two maximum at the bottom of your introduction. Your green print is your transitional sentences. They integrate the previous paragraph into the next continuing one, so it's seamless. It's not abrupt. The blue wording, characters, or sections, whatever you want to call them. That's your topic sentence, your claim. Your yellow highlighted will be the sources that support your claim. That's the research you're going to conduct. And then the gray is your synthesis. The purple print is your rebuttal. My rebuttal does not have a source. However, yours will have a source. And it will follow the same format: transitional sentence, topic sentence, the source, you'll reveal the source, and the critical analysis. And then this is just a recap again of first paragraph, what it should consist of, the conclusion, what it should consist of. I use a psychological instrument for my image, which you'll see where it's placed. You're going to use any type of quantitative data, so it could be polling, as in one of our articles, we dealt with polls, charts, graphs, pie charts, any kind of numerical data in an image format. I want you to get used to placing that into a paper, and also you'll be explaining it to support your claim. Okay? So I'm going to scroll to the top. You're going to be, actually it might already be posted, the template for the paper, so you have guidelines, so you don't have to figure out how to get the running head up there, which is here. You just click on it, and you can type your heading in there, and this running head continues throughout the paper, and it will do an automatic page count. I'll show you here. It doesn't say running head any longer, this is exactly what's supposed to happen, and you see it's page 2. So you will enter the information here, your title, your name, Mercy College. This is an author's note. You don't need to use it. You can totally delete it, but I just showed you an example how you can present it. Some people put their professor's name, or if they were funded, there's reasons for that. I think I removed the abstract, but if I didn't, you could take it out. There's no table of contents or abstract required for this paper. So we're going to go right into the introduction. And if you read this paper, I'm not looking for you to examine the content of this paper. This was kind of a whimsical paper I just threw together to show you formatting. So I don't want you to take the paper seriously. I want you to look at the formatting itself. Okay? So in the introduction, it's just giving a summary of what you're going to expect to read in the paper, which is what we've been practicing all along on a smaller scale, the 3-paragraph essays, right? The introduction pretty much tells the reader what they're going to expect to read. Your thesis, as you see here in red, if you recall, will be the last sentence or two at the end of your introduction. Here I underline the 3 main points I'll be covering to support my claim that progressive rock musicians are highly intellectual. So these are my 3 main sources. However, before I even go into that, what I do here, I still do another kind of introduction. And what I'm doing is introducing some technical language. So many of you may have ever heard what progressive rock is, or also known as prog rock. So I want to clear this up, and I go into the Encyclopedia Britannica and reveal some background information. So this is sourced. This is a valid and credible source. Before I'm getting ahead of myself, you see there's a transitional sentence here where I want to do a seamless kind of move. I don't want to just abruptly come into any topic, right? So here's a transitional sentence. This is black because it's just another piece of information. But here's my topic, which is just defining essentially progressive rock, or also known as prog rock, and where the history came from it. And before I go into any critical analysis, which is not really required for definition, but I do, I also supply another definition here, and I'm defining motivation, okay? Where I've taken from the Encyclopedia Britannica. And you can look to see how I've actually put in-text citations in here. There's ellipses. That's when the sentence doesn't start here. And when you see these brackets, I just changed the verb to make it, you see the verbs were changed. So it might have been suggested, and I changed it to suggesting. That's what those brackets do to make it seamlessly fall into my sentence structure. It gives you a little bit of breathing room. And then I do synthesize it. And here there's one other, not really a definition, but this is where I pull my diagram in. I think I had figure at the end. I have diagram here. They should match up. So if I did make that error, because again, I just put this together very quickly because I think it will be helpful for you. You'll be doing this when you'll say see chart or see table or see polling, whatever it is that you're inserting in the back of the end of the paper, which I'll show you. That's what you're going to do because you're indicating to the audience, what I'm going to be viewing. So here it's a psychological tool that I used, and I'm sourcing it. And you see here it was from, well, actually it's from a couple of elements here. I'm talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It was taken from here. And then I actually discuss a little bit about Maslow, and it was taken from this book. Okay. And here is my source, right? Go back. Transitional sentence, topic sentence, source, critical analysis. I actually add another source and more critical analysis. All right. So you'll see this throughout the entire paper. Transitional, topic, source, critical analysis, or also known as synthesis. You see this throughout. Here I use two separate sources to support this particular main point. So this is the first main point. You'll see there's the second and third main point. Second main point, see? Same formatting. You will see the same thing throughout the paper. I'll scroll down here. I just don't want to go too fast. If you read through it, you'll see, again, there's actual information taken from, this is short, but like Icelandic rugged independence, that's taken directly from the article. I believe anything more than 4 words should be quoted, but these were important things that I think were really conveys the reason why I'm trying to stress what I'm stressing here. Here's a third point, okay? So it's the same format throughout. Really good writers do not have to follow this format. If you are good and you feel confident, you don't have to, as long as you have all of these elements. But if you're not comfortable writing a paper, I suggest you just get into this habit. It's a really good format to use, and then as you progress with writing, you start to become more eloquent. So the purple is the rebuttal. Again, I didn't really follow a format. This was just thrown together. You can write rebuttal, or you could put a clever title. But you'll do the same thing: transitional sentence, topic sentence, source to show that you've collected a different point of view, not supporting of yours, and then synthesis or critical analysis. Here's your conclusion. You can write conclusion or write a clever title. You're going to summarize what you wrote, a little bit of a takeaway, and here's your 3 main points recapped. The paper will have no pronouns. It's objective, it's academic. I will, however, allow one pronoun if you want to say your takeaway during this study. So you could say during the research I discovered, or that I'll allow if it entertained at all, because it's going to reveal your takeaway. They do allow that at the end of scientific papers, and I will give you that ability, but you don't have to. So let's keep all pronouns out of the paper at all costs, except at the end. Here's your references, an example. Again, the requirements, what you're required. I don't have as much. I might even have missing ones. The point is the format of the paper. I want you to just take a look and become familiar with it. And you'll see how the definitions are. Here you could see, when it's a book, it's italicized. This is a song, it's italicized. This is actually from a journal. It's italicized. The journal's italicized. The instrumental tool isn't, the title of it. And it's all can be done through some of the in through Word, where the reference section is. I put a link in the useful links and docs section for you, so you make use of it. And this is where your, see, so I had figure here. Yours will match up. Like I said, it'll say chart or table or polling, whatever it is you're using. This is where it's going to be implemented, so you'll have a physical image to support your claim. And this is just the color coding again. Just want to reiterate, your paper will not be in color coding. This is just for you to clearly see how everything's ironed out. I don't want you to really get into the content of this paper. Like I said, it was just a whimsical way to show you proper formatting. Your paper will be much more serious than mine, but you can skim over and see how the quotes are implemented in text citation, matters such as that. But I hope you found this narrative useful and it helped you comprehend a little bit more. And if you need further assistance, of course, reach out to me. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.